Sometimes it takes a minute to load. There we go. All right, so Terry already asked the question, generate, what does generate mean? Well, generate is just another word for creating, okay? And let me make my text here a little bit larger if I can.
I described the picture as like steal or like rob or well not rob but steal.
Okay, so that's Terry's idea here. What word would you use to describe this picture? So Terry is saying he would say rob, to rob something or steal. Anybody else have any other words to describe this picture here? You can just say them out if you guys can think of any other words that you would use to describe this picture.
Robbery?
Robbery? That's a good one.
I don't want to use that word because it's not like you see this as like he's running into the bank and then the alarms are on and then kind of like that.
Well,
so
that's a good point, Terry.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, everybody can have their opinion, right? That's a great part about writing, is that we can take it very literally and look at the picture and say, oh, I think this in what I see, or we can use our imagination a little bit. We can say, well, maybe he was taking it from a bank, or maybe he robbed somewhere. So good points. Anybody else have words they would use to describe this picture? Elisa, go ahead.
I think he's stealing and stoling.
He's stealing or he stole. The past tense of that is stole. Right.
Not stolen.
Yep, that's okay. Mistakes grow our brain. We love mistakes.
And so I learned that past tense just means stole and like the present, that means for what's happening right now. The present tense or just present means stealing, like what's happening right now. And then the future tense will be will steal because
Excellent.
Like, he will steal, not he'll steal now or stole that.
Very good. Yep, you are right, Terry, and that's something we might cover in the future. So, as we are generating words or ideas with these pictures tonight, we're going to focus on a few different types of words that we might want to use. Okay, we are going to look at nouns. Who can tell me what a noun is? Victoria, what's a noun?
A person, place, or thing.
Good. A person, place, thing. And I'm going to add one more thing to that. It can also be an idea. Okay,
like
person.
For example, man, or like kid, or like shop, or like McDonald's is a noun, of course.
Yep,
because
you're right.
It's a place. And a person like me, like you and Lulu, and so
yep, all these people here. Good.
And verb is like an action, like for example.
Oh, okay,
like
let's do that one next. Hold on, Terry. Let's let everybody catch up. You're thinking like a million miles a minute here, which is awesome. So you said a verb is an action word. And
like,
give us an example.
Like for example, jump or run, and I think of that as kind of like commands.
Jump or run. Okay, good. Now, yes, somebody else had something to add to that?
And like words that describe someone doing something.
Yeah, do you know what those descriptive words are called? They're called adjectives. Okay? An adjective is a word that describes. Usually describes a noun.
Like a red ball.
Yep, a red ball. Good. Yes. So an example might be something like red, or we could say big, or juicy.
Large, small, tiny, little.
Okay, good. So those are the main three we're going to focus on today. There's lots more types of language we use in the English language, and you guys know that. But these are the three we want to focus on, okay? So nouns, verbs, and adjectives. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to go to the next slide, and we're going to take a look here. Hold on, let me clear all my words here. We're going to take a look at some ideas you might come up with looking at this, okay? So somebody took a look at this picture and they thought, here's the things I see, here's the things I think, okay? So who can read this first one here? Let's just go in order. Lulu, read this word.
Bag.
Good. And Terry, read.
Dash.
Good. And Elisa, this one's a little bit trickier. Read this word, sorry.
Anxious.
Yeah, that one was anxious. This one above it was fierce. And then Natalie, can you read this word?
Running.
Very good. I think I got everybody. And then these last two, scared and dark. Okay? So looking at all these, let's label these with the type of word they are. They're going to be a noun, or a verb, or an adjective. Okay? So you guys are going to tell me, and I'm going to put just the letter of it. If it's a noun, I'll put an N. If it's a verb, I'll put a V. And if it's an adjective, I'll put an A. So what is bag? A noun, a verb, or an adjective?
Noun.
A noun.
Yes, very good, everybody, because it's a thing. What about thief?
Noun.
Also a noun. Excellent, because it's a
Person.
person. Very good. What about mask?
Verb.
Noun.
Ooh, that one's tricky. So it can be, it's most commonly a noun, but you're right, it could be a verb. If I mask something, that means it's an action, so it could also be a verb. So we'll put just a V below that.
Like put on a mask or take it off?
Kind of. Put would be the verb in that, but sometimes we say like, I'm going to mask my answer. That means I'm going to cover it. Okay? What about fierce?
Verb.
Not a verb.
Fierce is an adjective.
Very good, Victoria. It is an adjective because it describes something.
Like my sister is fierce.
Yes. Is your sister fierce?
Adjective.
She's not fierce. Good. Anxious. Okay, Terry, you were ahead of us. What was it?
Adjective or adjective, whatever you call it.
It could be an adjective. It could also be a verb if we say I'm anxious or to be anxious, but we'll leave it as an adjective. Okay, what about running, everybody?
Verb.
Verb.
Verb. Yep, it's action, so it's a verb. Scared.
It's
Verb.
adjective.
Adjective. Good.
I am scared. Like
And
that.
what about dark?
Dark.
Verb. Or adjective.
This one would be an adjective. If we describe something as dark, it's an adjective. Okay. So here we've got some,
That is so dark.
yes, some great descriptive words. Now, do all of you have something to write with and like a piece of paper or a notebook? Give me
Yeah.
a thumbs up if you've got something to write with and something to write on. So like a pen and a notebook. Thumbs up if you've got it.
Yeah.
Yes, Lulu. Yes, Victoria. Yes, Natalie. Yes, Elisa. Where'd Terry go? He went to get one probably.
Yeah, I want to get one.
Okay, great. Okay. Once Terry gets back, I'm going to give you all some instructions, okay? So make sure you've got your listening ears on.
I have this really special clipboard thing. that
Oh, cool.
also-
Excellent.
and there's
That's
a
a
folder over here, and there's another folder over here.
Ooh, that's a great writing tool, Terry. Okay, so here's what I want you all to do. I want you to choose 3 words from this picture here. Choose 3 of the words and write 3 sentences. Okay? 3 different sentences. So for example, if I chose the word bag, I might say, I see a thief carrying a big gray bag, and then put a period. So write 3 sentences in your notebook. I'm going to put a timer on for 3 minutes. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead and write your sentences.
I forgot I watched the video.
You can choose any 3 words. And if you have someone nearby to help you, they are welcome to help you, or you can just do it on your own. When the timer goes off, I'll have some of you share your sentences. See some great writing going on. Good job, everyone. Okay, if you're done, you can write some more sentences while you wait.
I'm still writing. You're making mistakes, Mommy. Mommy, I'm still writing. Still writing.
Choose 3 words, then choose one, write 3 sentences. First you choose a word, make a sentence. Start with way down, right? Very good. Come on, very good. A big gray man.
Bag.
Okay, very good. Come on.
Look at
Carry it. With 3 sentences. Okay. Choose another.
Okay, that's our timer. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to wrap up your sentence or sentences.
I'm already done.
Excellent.
I'm already done. I
Okay,
wrote
great.
4 sentences.
This might sound kind of scary, but I wrote down 3 sentences. The city lights are out. It's dark and nobody said a word. We saw a strange figure running on the sidewalk. We were all really scared.
Ooh, very good. That's some good imaginative sentences, Terry. I like it. Anybody else want to share their sentence or sentences?
Yeah.
Let's have you raise your hand and I will call on you. Okay, Victoria, you go first.
The thief is stealing. He is holding a bag. He's wearing a mask. He is really, really anxious.
Oh, very good. Good words to describe that picture.
I wrote these 3 sentences based on what's the first sentence because the city lights are out and it's dark and nobody said a word because they're all really scared and then it starts to stage of bank and so we saw a strange figure running we were all really scared.
Okay, good. So Terry, you had kind of a topic sentence. Okay, Terry, hold on. I got to give somebody else a chance, okay? So let's move on. Natalie, you can go ahead and go next.
The thief is carrying a big gray bag. The thief has a mask. The thief is running.
Good, excellent. So you chose the topic of the thief and gave him some different actions he was doing. Very good. Anybody else want to share? Lulu, you want to share a sentence?
The thief is carrying the bag. The thief is running. The thief is wearing the mask. The thief is dark.
Excellent. Okay, what about, let's see, Elisa, go ahead and share.
You needed me.
I write, I'm afraid of the dark, and I put my stuff in my bags, and I will wear my mask when I go outside.
Good, Elisa. Okay, good. So you used it like with the subject of I. Okay, very good. So just a real quick review. I'm going to put this kind of in the center here. When we write sentences, there are 5 key things every sentence should have. I call them the high 5 of sentences. Okay, so listen carefully. Every sentence, you probably know all these, but this is just a reminder. Every sentence should have a capital letter. Everybody's sentence have a capital letter? Good. Every sentence needs a punctuation mark. So whether that's a period or a question mark or an exclamation point. Everybody have one of those in your sentence?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. Every sentence should have a subject. So that means whether we're talking about a person or an object. Do all of you have a subject in your sentences? I heard a lot of you say things like thief.
I just only have period.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, and a verb. A verb means the subject is doing something. Do all of you have the subject doing something? Okay, good. And the last thing every sentence should have, we should just ask ourselves, does it make sense? And the best way to check if your sentence makes sense is to read it out loud, just like you all did for me. So if you don't have someone to read it out loud to, just read it out to yourself, and that will help you make sure that it has everything you need, okay? Okay, now we're gonna move on to a new picture. And what is this?
Helicopter.
It's a helicopter. Thank you, Natalie. This is a helicopter. I want you to come up with, now on your own, write them in your notebook. Come up with 8 words to describe this picture. Go ahead and write those. Write them in your notebook, and I'm going to give you 3 minutes again, okay? You probably won't need that long. So if you get 8 words and we still have time, write more. The more ideas you can come up with, the better your writing will be.
I just make sentences.
No, you're just doing words right now, and then we'll move on to sentences, but we're doing words first, okay?
5 adjective, okay?
Like, yeah, like nouns or adjectives or verbs.
Because describe. Okay, 5 words.
So like we talked about before, you're going to try to write some nouns. Oops, sorry. I was on the wrong button. You're going to try to come up with some nouns, some adjectives, and some verbs. Just write them down, okay? And then we'll share when the timer goes off. Just about a minute left. So come up with as many words as you can think of, nouns, adjectives, and verbs.
Mommy, I already wrote 8 words.
Way to go. About 20 seconds. When the timer goes off, if you want to share one of your words, just raise your hand and I will call on you.
4.
Okay, who would like to share? Raise your hand. Okay, Victoria, tell us one of your words.
Blade.
What is it?
Blade.
Blade. Oh, like on the top of it?
Yeah.
Good. Natalie, what is one of your words?
Fly.
Fly? Good, that's a good verb. Terry, do you have a word to share?
Well, I do have to, like, for example, rotor or propeller or tail rotor.
Okay, we'll use propeller. I'm trying to remember if we spell, I think we spell propeller with ER. I'm not sure though. We'll have to check that spelling later. Elisa?
I wrote travel, fast, and big,
Oh,
and heavy.
heavy, that's a good adjective, and big. Okay, good. Let's see, Lulu, did you have one to share? Lulu, did you have a word to share?
It says no. There's verbs.
By the way, one of my
Okay, Victoria, give us another word.
Sky. Flying.
Sky. Good. Okay, does somebody have one more word? I will put one here. This to me looks like an army helicopter. You see how it's camouflage? Usually that means it's part of the army or Air Force, but either one. Camouflage is what I'm going to put there. Okay. Let me stretch that out so it's one word. Okay. Now, what I want you to do, just like last time, come up with at least 3 sentences. Okay? You can choose any of these 3 words or 3 words of your own. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead. Write 3 sentences.
The
Rồi cái con một em thừa vào mi. Cho tôi một ít thôi con. Anh đi đi một cái em. But this is the word. Nè, thì chỉ mấy chị bạn nó chỉ em chẳng có đó, chị bạn nó sắp bạn được đâu.
I'm done.
Yeah. Okay, good. If you're done, you can write a couple more sentences or check your sentences for the high five. Does it have a capital? Does it have punctuation? Does it have a subject, a verb, and does it make sense?
There's more too. This one.
Okay, about 1 minute.
Daddy called me to pass. Yeah, go. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow,
hitting yourself.
Okay, that is our timer. Raise your hand if you are ready to share a sentence. Okay, Lulu, let's start with you.
The helicopter is big. The helicopter is flying. The helicopter is in the sky.
Hey, very good. So she had some good verbs and adjectives. She also had that the subject was the helicopter. Excellent, Lulu. Okay, Victoria, go ahead.
The helicopter is flying. It is starring in the sky. It has a blade. It is very, very heavy. It can travel.
Excellent. Okay, so she used for the first subject, she said the helicopter, and then she replaced it with the pronoun it, and she had lots of descriptive words. Did you make sure to include punctuation, Victoria?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, Natalie, you can share a sentence now.
The helicopter can fly. The helicopter can land. It could camouflage.
Very good. So again, she's got the helicopter. It can fly, verb. The helicopter can land, which is also a verb. And it can camouflage. Great use of camouflage, Natalie. That use is actually also a verb. Camouflage can be a verb. Okay, Terry, go ahead and share.
The helicopter suddenly crash landed. The propeller was damaged. The fuel tank was out of fuel because it crashed, and then they found out that during the battle it got literally there was a hole in the fuel tank, and then all the gas leaked out, and then suddenly it crash landed.
Okay, very good, Terry. Very descriptive. Those are some good, very specific to a helicopter words. All right, Elisa, your turn.
So I write helicopters can fly. They travel fast. It needs camouflage to hide.
Ah, excellent. Good. So you have the helicopter as your subject again. It can camouflage. It can fly fast. Very good. Okay. So you guys did an excellent job with generating words and ideas to create sentences. And remember the 5. What are the 5 things a sentence should have? Who can remember? Who can name?
I only remember 2 of them.
Okay, name the one one of them that you remember, Victoria.
I remember 2 of them. I
Me too.
remember capitalization and punctuation.
Good. Capitalization, punctuation. Do you remember some others, Natalie?
Period.
Yep, that's punctuation.
Comma.
That's also punctuation. Who can remember? What do we call?
Does that make sense?
Yes, makes sense is one of them. Elisa, what's another one? What do we call what the sentence is about? It starts with an S. The subject. Good. And last one, what do we call those action words?
Verb.
Verb. Yep. Subject, verb, makes sense, has capital letter, and punctuation. Those are our 5. Okay, so I'm going to show you what your homework will be. And then after I show you your homework, I'm going to show you a cool tool that we use in this class if you continue to use, or if you continue to be a part of my class, okay? So your homework has 2 pages. It will be this page and this page. Okay, and your job, we will send these pages to your parents. And your job will be this. So look carefully at the top corner here. 1, I want you to come up with words to describe the picture. Let me move this over just a little bit. Okay, and remember the type of words we're talking about are like adjectives, nouns, verbs, okay? I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. Give me just a moment. Maybe one bigger than that.
Come up with words to describe the picture.
Yep, that's step 1. Come up with words to describe the picture. Step 2 is to write at least 3 sentences using your words, your descriptive words. Can you do more than 3 sentences?
Yes.
Of course you can. You can do as many sentences as you can think of, but I want at least 3. Yeah, you could do 5, you could do 8, you could do 20, as much as you feel like doing, okay? And the third thing, you can do this in a notebook or on like a Word document. You can create it in an email, but what you're going to do is you're going to email this to our KooSchool director. You're going to email this to this email, okay? So this is important that you have this written down. It's Kathy@KooReader.net. So you might want to take a screenshot of this, or if you've got a phone nearby, take a picture. But these are your 3 steps, okay?
Come up with words.
So just like we just did in class, you're going to come up with words to describe the picture. You're going to write at least 3 sentences, but you can write more. And then you're going to email your work to this email, okay?
Okay, email my work to that email. My picture.
And if you forget that email, you can have your parents just contact the same people that you signed up for this class through, and they'll get that email to you, okay? So you're going to do it for how many pictures? Just 1?
Just the second one.
Are you doing 1 picture or 2 pictures? Do you remember? There's 2 pictures, okay? There's this one and the one after it. So this picture of the girl on the bike and this picture.
Boy on the car.
Of a man in a car. Each picture, you're going to come up with descriptive words and sentences, okay? Anybody have questions about this part?
I don't know.
I have a question.
Yes. What's your
Can
question?
you go back to the second page?
The second page, this one?
My mom will take a picture.
Okay, go for it. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions before I show you the cool thing that we use in this class later on? Okay, so I'm going to show that to you now. So I'm going to do a new share of screen. How many of you have heard of Kids A to Z before?
Me.
Some of you?
Oh, I do.
I don't have grade 1, grade 2,
Mommy?
grade 4.
Well, can I go to teacher? Those are 2.
You've seen these before?
We don't have that.
If
I
you don't,
have
yeah, you might not have it yet. So if you choose to join my class, what we'll do is we'll give you a login for this, but I'm going to show you how we use it. Okay, and each of you will have your special login, and we'll use the writing room here. So it looks like a planet, and it says writing. And what we're going to,
Doesn't have the hospital. Too much, please. Yeah, you're right.
And we go to the writing room, and this is a place where you get to create stories, and it helps you. So do you see this button that says build a book? So what you're going to get to do later on is you're going to get to build a book for me that I will get to read through and help you edit and change. I'm going to show you all the cool things that we get to do. So let's say you want to write a story that's made up. You would pick fiction, and then you'd go to the next, and you'd want to do actually the plan step first. Sorry. So you're going to give it a setting. Let's say that your book happened at the pool. Okay? And the characters you had, ooh, there's lots of cool characters here. Let's say there was a robot there, and there was an elf and a snowman and a raccoon. Lots of strange characters, huh? This will be an interesting story. The problem is that the snowman can't go swimming with his friends because he will melt. Okay, and how do we solve this problem? Well, we put some ice in the pool so that he can swim too. Okay, and the events, well, first, we can say that raccoon jumps in. And then we could say that next elf jumps in. And then we could say snowman puts a foot in, but it begins to melt. Okay, and then we could say we realize that the problem is the snowman can't swim. And then all the friends try to solve the problem. Okay, and then let's say I called my story, ooh, I'm going to call this No Swimming for Snowman. Okay, so I just created my plan, and here's where the fun part comes in. So you get to come in and use your title. You get to create a title. You get to go through and add some things. So let's say you want a background for this story. Well, we don't want it to be at a farm. We're looking for a pool. So we'd look through and see, maybe there's a pool here. Maybe I could just use the ocean. We'll see if there's an ocean picture that fits. This kind of looks like a pool. Fish in it, ooh. Okay. And then I could add my characters in here. And maybe I don't want it to be an ocean character. Maybe I want I want to look for my raccoon. He's probably in the forest. I look through and say, oh, there's my raccoon friend. I could show him jumping in the pool. Okay. I could rotate it, make him look like he's jumping. Whee! And then I also had a snowman. That's crazy. Let's see if I can find one. He might be in the winter. So let's look at seasons here. Tell me if you see a snowman. There he is. Okay, so he's here. Does he make it in the pool? Just his foot, and you can see, oh, maybe that's why he's melting at the bottom. He realized, oh, I can't jump in. And then we could add some more characters. We could add some more objects. We can add more pages, okay? So there's lots of tools that you get to use here to create your story. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll use this if you join this class. Yes, Elisa.
So actually I use that, but I just use it for reading in my class.
Oh, okay, so you've used the reading room of Kids A to Z?
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, some of you have probably used reading for Kids A to Z. Not a lot of kids have used writing, but we'll learn how to use it and get really good at it. Yes, Natalie.
I used Raz Kids on kindergarten.
Oh, cool. So a lot of you have been able to see Raz Kids before. Okay, well that is actually
First grade, second grade, maybe even third grade.
you did, Terry. You've used it.
Yeah, I used it in kindergarten, first grade.
What about L?
Some kids in my class used it. But I don't know about third grade.
Oh, cool. So you're an expert with using it. Okay, well that is the end of our class for today. So remember, you'll do your homework and send it to that email and I'll be able to look at it and we'll discuss it next time in class. But does anyone have any questions before we end?
Well, I need something.
I don't have that kind of A to Z. I don't have like.
Yeah, Victoria, that's okay. So what I said, if you join this writing class, we will send you the account information to be able to use it. We'll make an account for you, okay?
And by the way, I need to tell you something. I might not be here next time.
Okay, that's okay. You guys work that out with your parents, okay? And just whoever is here is who I will teach. Any other questions, comments?
No.
Okay, well, 2 thumbs up today, everybody. Give yourself a pat on the back for doing some great writing. You are awesome writers. It was so fun meeting all of you. I hope you have a great night, okay?
Bye.